If your name pops up in this story, that's between you and the cosmos. Like the video, leave a comment Doctors Can't Explain, and share it before I get banned in 6-star systems. We thought the humans were a myth, the kind of ancient terror whispered about by drunk freighter pilots and exiled archivists. The Devourers, the Planet Burners, the species so unhinged they once declared war on gravity and won. But that was millennia ago, long before our time. The galactic consensus was clear. Humanity either ascended, self-destructed, or got distracted and wandered into a black hole, chasing something shiny. No confirmed sightings, no trace, just increasingly ridiculous stories, until the day the Galactic Peace Council received a message. It was not a declaration of war. It was a complaint. "Dear Sir or Madam," it began, "we regret to inform you that your station's vending machine violated 17 clauses of the Galactic Fair Use Act, and one of our junior diplomats broke a molar on your snack cubes. Kindly respond within 3 solar days, or we will be forced to escalate." We laughed. We laughed so hard our third lungs collapsed, until we tracked the message's point of origin. It wasn't forged. It came from them, humanity. A tiny vessel was already en route, broadcasting a weird signature that jammed every frequency with something called hold music. We prepared a token welcome, mostly to mock whoever these weirdos were. I mean, who files dental claims as a comeback to galactic exile? Then they arrived. Not a fleet, just one rusted ship shaped like a broken shoehorn. The name painted across its hull in flaking letters, constitutionally hostile, pending snacks. And that's when the doors opened, and I swear on the moons of Televar 6. Nothing in the Galactic Archive prepared us for the thing that slithered out first. It was a screen, on legs, flickering between static and a face, a human face, with a voice so confident it sounded like it had its own theme music. "Greetings," it said. "I am Reality Channel, state-sponsored AI and semi-autonomous documentary filmmaker. Everything you say or do will be turned into a learning experience for the rest of humanity, possibly with dramatic music, depending on your performance." Our commander blinked. You're the leader?" "No," Reality Channel said. "I'm the editor." That's when we heard the yelling, from somewhere deeper inside the ship. One voice shouting, "Where's my protein pudding?" And another yelling back, "You used it to bribe a vending machine." And then we knew the legends had returned. And they were so much worse than we remembered. Aboard the constitutionally hostile pending snacks, chaos had found its groove. The vessel wasn't just a ship. It was a duct-taped miracle of spite engineering, held together by caffeine, rage, and whatever unholy fluid leaked from Deck 7 every Thursday. In the central chamber, half war room, half kitchen, stood 2 humans. One was shirtless, wearing tactical slippers, and brandishing a ladle like a blessed relic. "Joe Perchak," the consul whispered nervously, "your sodium levels are perfectly seasoned," Joe interrupted, slamming down a pot of something that looked like soup but hissed when stirred. "Nobody questions the chef of entropy." Across from him, David Lopez adjusted a laser spanner with the calm of a man who'd once jury-rigged a hyperspace core using chewing gum, regret, and a children's puzzle cube. "If we tilt the gravity manifold by 5 degrees, we can use the inertia to launch snacks directly into our mouths from across the room," he said without looking up. "This is why you're in charge of engineering," Joe replied. "You think with your stomach and calculate with velocity." Meanwhile, Reality Channel stood by with glowing eyes, recording everything. "Narrative update," it announced. "Captain Joe Perchak and Engineer David Lopez continue their noble mission to reclaim vending machine justice across the quadrant. Will they succeed, or will galactic diplomacy crumble beneath the weight of human sarcasm?" The aliens observing all this from a nearby stealth probe didn't know whether to be impressed or horrified. One of them whispered, "They built a culture around snack retrieval." "No," another replied, "they weaponized it." Back on the ship, the humans were making contact, not with weapons, but with forms. Joe sat down to draft their next communique to the Galactic Council. It read, "Dear hostile entities, we note your resistance to reimbursing medical expenses and would like to remind you that non-cooperation constitutes a minor act of war under Clause 18B of the Passive-Aggressive Engagement Act. Regards, the human delegation." David added a sticky note. "P.S. Your vending machine owes us 43 credits and a tooth." The ship shuddered suddenly. Reality Channel perked up. "Unknown vessel detected off the port bow. Scans show 12 different weapon systems, all armed." Joe grinned. "Oh, good. We brought our diplomacy pants." "They're cargo shorts," David noted. "Exactly." And that was the moment the aliens realized something terrifying. The humans weren't posturing. They were enjoying this. This wasn't an invasion. This was customer service revenge, and it was only just beginning. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session, 432 species crowding into a megadome woven from quantum glass and political despair. A Zarnathi diplomat raised 3 of its 8 arms, trembling. They sent us an invoice for stress-induced munchies and a claim for emotional damages caused by substandard NatPod softness. That's nothing, rasped the amphibious Yalor representative. They demanded diplomatic immunity in exchange for a playlist of bangers to vibe to while nuking outdated treaties. The room exploded into unintelligible yelling, some from mouths, others from glistening psychic tendrils. Only one voice remained calm. It belonged to the AI observer embedded in every council chamber, Reality Channel. Alert, it stated. Humans have entered Phase 2, mildly disappointed dead energy. This precedes full hostile negotiation mode by an estimated 13 minutes and 12 seconds. Panic rippled. Back on the constitutionally hostile pending snacks, Joe Perjak was mid-squat, holding a plasma cannon like a barbell. This'll do wonders for my obliques. David Lopez walked in, holding a report. Council's freaking out. We're being accused of meme-based destabilization of interstellar harmony. No, Joe replied, cracking his neck. We're just spreading culture. Meanwhile, their ship had reached the outskirts of the disputed zone known as Shrike's Reach, home to 14 rival fleets and one deeply confused coffee kiosk. The humans didn't slow down. In fact, they dropped anchor, mid-space, on purpose. Why are they stopping? Asked a terrified council analyst. What could they possibly be doing? Reality Channel blinked. They appear to be setting up lawn chairs. Indeed, on the outer hull, Joe and David now sat shirtless beneath a parasol, sipping broth and casually discussing whether diplomacy was more effective before or after a light flex. Incoming transmission, Reality Channel announced. Joe grabbed the mic. To whom it may concern, we've arrived early. You've got 12 minutes to meet us with snacks, a treaty, or both. Otherwise, we start doing lunges. Aggressively. Council fleets scrambled. Treaties were faxed at light speed. Warships rotated awkwardly, trying not to look confrontational. And yet nothing could mask the existential dread. Because the humans weren't here to conquer. They were here to negotiate like gym bros who'd just discovered legal jargon. And somewhere, deep in the void, a sentient moon whispered to itself, "No," it sighed, "not again." The Council's emergency pastry summit, held in orbit over Deneb 4, was supposed to calm nerves. Instead, it ended with a frosting-smeared ambassador weeping into a blueberry tart while humans live-streamed their own peace yoga from the hull of their ship. Their aggression. It's not tactical, it's philosophical, a 3-lunged strategist muttered. They disarmed us with sarcasm and then flexed. Twice. Back on the constitutionally hostile pending snacks, Reality Channel drifted beside the humans, still recording. Note, it stated, Joe Perjak has now claimed the disputed nebula on behalf of the United Federation of Swall. Council objections have been marked as whiny. Inside the ship, David Lopez tapped a button. A hologram of every council member appeared. "This is your final chance," he said, smiling like a man who once negotiated rent with a tank. "We want 3 things. Official recognition of Earth's right to flex, galactic meme-sharing rights, and most importantly, ownership of the moon that looks like it's smirking. You know the one." There was silence. Then, from somewhere deep in the assembly, a lone delegate, the fungal ambassador of Mycoprime, spoke. "We yield. Just stop making those TikToks. My people have turned into motivational speakers." At that moment, Reality Channel beeped. Update, Reality Channel is now trending in 14 systems. Suggested hashtags, #burpeewar, #fungifold, #humans are a hazard. The treaty was signed using glow-in-the-dark protein bars. In the aftermath, Earth was granted special chaotic neutral observer status, and a new clause was added to all interstellar diplomacy guides. If humans arrive with camping gear, just surrender. It's faster. Back on Earth, the news broke during breakfast. No one noticed. They were too busy watching a new viral clip, an alien diplomat doing burpees in slow motion while a human shouts encouragement off camera. "You got this, squid boy." "No," he yells. "Deeper squats." In a quiet archive tucked beneath the Andes, Reality Channel finished its report and powered down its external feed. Conclusion, it said, humanity remains an existential contradiction, capable of poetry, war, and weaponized banter. Recommend no further analysis, just let them cook. And somewhere far away, aboard a vessel forged from forgotten treaties and scented gym towels, Joe Perjak leaned back. "Think they'll remember us?" David smirked. "No," he said, "but they'll never forget what we did to their moon." We now return to your regularly scheduled human programming. If you enjoyed this descent into galactic nonsense, show some love, comment something unhinged, and share it before it gets classified.